There but for the grace of God go I. That was a phrase that my mother used to use all the time when she was trying to instill in me the idea of compassion for others that were less fortunate. But this morning I was listening to Psycho-Cybernetics, and Dr. Maltz was telling a story about sitting next to a bum in New York when a limousine pulled up and a gentleman got into the limousine. And the bum said to Dr. Maltz, "There but for me go I." And that kind of set off a whole flood of thoughts in me about taking responsibility for our own lives, or at least taking responsibility for my life. And I started to realize that although I have everything that it would take to be a millionaire, to be free, to be able to get into limousines and stay in nice hotels and things, I was the one that was holding myself back. And I think that we hold ourselves back, or at least I hold myself back, because of fear. And so I started to wonder what kind of a fear would hold you back from allowing you to do things. And I think part of it is freedom. If you're wealthy and you're in network marketing where you really don't have to work but a couple of hours a day, you've got an immense amount of freedom to deal with. Are you going to spend the money right? Are you going to invest the money properly? Are you going to spend your time wisely? Are you going to do important things with the time that you have? Are you going to get out and live life? And I think that that fear of that much freedom is one of the things that keeps so many of us tied to a job. Because we're not doing something different than what everybody else in the world is doing. So we're not kind of sticking out like a sore thumb from everybody else. Everybody gets up, gets dressed, goes to work. I think that fear of freedom is one of the reasons why it's so comfortable for us to stay locked in the routine of going to work, even if it's not something that we like to do. It's at least something that's familiar, and it's something that everybody else is doing, and it doesn't set us apart, and we can fit into the rest of the world because we're doing what everybody else expects us to do. And so I'm going to start today to challenge myself to break out of that fear. I've always been one that wanted to kind of hide in the background. I don't like being around a lot of people. I don't really like talking to a lot of people. I'm very shy and very quiet. But it's time to start to break out of that. And I think that I can do it. And I think I've got a great vehicle to do that through with Empower Network, because so much of it is done online, and that shy, quiet quality that is me isn't being challenged by having to have home parties or go out and talk to a lot of people that I just don't know. But I'm going to start to break away from that, and I'm going to try to allow myself to start being what it is that I want to be. And I'm going to do it by acting as if. And we'll talk about that tomorrow. Until then, set your fears aside, and Bob and I wish you all of the success that you will allow yourself to have in network marketing.